Hey guys, Mr. Hardy again. So this is, I guess, part 3 of the video. Taking me longer than usual. Sorry about that. But we were on 4, and basically now I want to teach you how to factor out a polynomial. Okay, so let me do this. I'll do it with blue. No, I'll do it with green. Okay. So again, I want to example. This is still sample 4. Right. We're still working on this one. Right. And again, my polynomial is 16y to the power of 6 plus 28y power 4 minus 20y to the power of 3. Okay. So we know, okay, that my greatest common factor is 4y to the power of 3. Right. It's right here. Okay, right here. This is my greatest common factor. So I'm going to, so steps, factor out the GCF. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put 4y to the power of 3, and then I'm going to put a big old parentheses here. Okay, then I'm going to say, okay, 4 times what number will give me 16? Okay, well, 4 times 4 gives me 16, right? But I want negative 16, right? So I got to make sure that it's negative. So 4 times a 4 times a negative 4 will give me negative 16. Okay, that works. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a y here. Okay, well, remember that, right? Sort of like a little side note, right? Y, um, y to the power of 3 times y to the power of 1, right? That would give us 4, but we don't want that. We want to make sure we get, let me see if I can do it with red. We want to make sure we get 6, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put a 3 as an exponent, because when I multiply y cubed times y cubed, it'll give me y to the power of 6. Okay? And I'm going to do the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and do, okay, 4 times what number will give me 28? Well, I believe that you can always look at your terms here just for the people that are, trying to figure out how this all relates, right? Well, 4 times what will give me 28? Well, no, that won't work. Sorry about that. Brain farting. 4 times what will give me 28? I believe it'll be 7, right? So 7 times 4, 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 3 is 21, 7 times 4 is 28, right? So then you're going to go ahead and do, okay, well, 4 times 7 gives me 28. And now you got to put your variable, right? So your variable is going to be, what will it be? Okay, so that's y to the power of 3 times y to the power of 1. Add up the exponents here. That'll give you y to the power of 4. That works. Okay, and then you're going to do the same exact thing all over again. So now we're going to go ahead and do 4 times what number will give me negative 20. And I know that's got to be a negative, right? It'll be 4 times 5, right? Because 4 times 5 will give you, 4 times 5 will give you negative negative 20, right? And then, do I even need to put a variable here? We don't, right? Because technically, we already have, when I multiply 4y to the cubed times negative 5, it gives me already negative 20y cubed. So that's it. We're done. So my factored out polynomial is 4y cubed times negative 4y to the power of 3 plus 7y to the power of 1 minus 5. Okay, this is our factored out polynomial. So in your homework, you are going to have to do that. Okay, and again, we cannot do this unless we know how to get the greatest common factor. Okay, and then once you guys get sharp and a little bit quicker, and right away, when I give you something like this, you can give me the greatest common factor. Perfect. If you can give me right away, then you can start working out your magic just like that, okay? But it's going to take a little bit of time. I'm guessing for some of you guys to try to figure out what is the greatest common factor, okay? So, anyways, that was example 4. Now, I did notice that, what I noticed, I did it on purpose, right? On the previous video, I didn't really do, I didn't do example 3. I just showed you how to do the greatest common factor, and we figured out the greatest common factor was 1x. So now I'm actually going to teach you how to factor out the polynomial, okay? So, let's go ahead and do with, I'll do it with green, okay? So again, we're trying to factor out 1x cubed plus 5x squared minus 22x, okay? So again, the first thing you got to do is take out your greatest common factor, put it on the outside, which is, that looks sloppy. I'm sorry about that. I want to go ahead and do, right, okay? So take out your greatest common factor, which is 1x, right? We said it. So 1x helps to put a little power 1, and then you have to think about 1 times what will give you 1, right? Well, that's 1. And then x times x to the power of what power will give you x to the power of 3? Well, that's 2, right? Because 1 plus 2 will give me 3. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and try it again. So now we're going to do, okay, 1x times what number will give me 5, right? Well, that's 5, right? 1 times 5 will give me 5, and then 1x times x to the power of what will give me, let me do it with the purple, right? So, again, 1 plus 1 will give me 2, right? So that works. That's where you got to keep your variable at. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same exact thing for the last one, right? So 1 times what will give me negative 22? That's just negative 22, right? And then we really don't need an x here, right? Because we already have this x here that's going to give us, when we multiply x times negative 22, it's already going to give us negative 22x. Okay, so again, my factored out polynomial is, let me do with a better color. Okay, it's 1x times 1x squared, right? What's the next thing? Plus 5x minus 22, right? So this right here is what your homework is going to expect you to do, okay? So that's how you factor it out, basically a polynomial. So in summary, you really got to do, no, I don't want to do that. You really want to go ahead and find the greatest common factor. Okay, that's sort of like step 1, but step 1 itself has more steps, right? You got to be able to know how to factor out or get the greatest common factor. And step 2 will be factor it out. So factor out the, something's going on with Mr. J today, guys. Factor out the greatest common factor